In this video, we're gonna start talking about when you should start charging for your events and how much. And there's also a big debate of free versus paid. We'll cover all that. It's my preference to start with free. Now, in this kind of a discussion, free, paid, how much, there is no particular theoretical right answer. You have to always experiment, and you always have to take into account what works for you in your event situation. My events might be different. Another person who might advise you, their events might be different. So always you have to keep in mind, whatever I'll tell you, you have to experiment and get it right in your own situation. So for me, I found that often starting out free is good if you have the luxury, because if you just have one event you're planning and not a whole event series, of course you maybe want to make it paid. But if you can make it, if you have the luxury to make it free, you can do that because it allows the maximum people to come to your event. And free doesn't mean that you won't make money from it, because remember, there's a lot of ways to make money from events that is not ticket sales. But in this case, we're talking about ticket sales. So you get the most capacity of attendance if you make the event free, and that's why I like that. And you keep it free until your marketing becomes good and competitive, so that you can draw a big audience. When you draw a big audience, then you switch to paid. Because even if you have 50 people attending and maybe you make it paid, well, there will be, of course, some drop off, but then it won't go down to zero, right? So that way you'll start, now you're free. So now you're paid and you're able to grow your paid audience. And that's best, right? Because now you're getting ticket sales. So my preference, and again, this can be different for different situations, but my preference is to start with a low price. Why? Because if you go from free to expensive, it's a big mental jump for people. If you go from free to inexpensive, small price, people can do that. It's fine, you know? It's not a big mental jump. And that's why it's easier for it. You won't lose as many people in that transition from free to paid. And you can increase the price over time. You don't have to stay with a low price. As your demand keeps growing, as your marketing keeps better, as you're attracting a bigger and bigger audience, you can raise the price, okay? Now I'm going to give you a few more tips of how to deal with the pricing situation. You should always also have some conversations and get feedback from your attendees on what value are they getting, and from that you'll get a sense for the ideal price. Now keep in mind, because they're talking to you directly, they're going to be nice to you and they're going to give you the most inflated, nice version of the real answer. So you don't get carried away if they're overly compliment you. And when you do set a price, make sure that you set it confidently. If you're wishy-washy about your pricing, people aren't going to believe you that it's worth that. You have to exude that confidence that said, hey, the event is worth it. You're going to get that level of value. And it's sometimes a difficult step, because I remember when I was switching from free to paid, I was shy about it. I wasn't sure, like I was like, oh, I don't know if people are going to pay me. Why should they pay me? Who am I? There's all this self-doubt that creeps in. But at the end of the day, if you're putting on something valuable for them, why not you get paid? And also, regarding pricing, there's discounting strategies. Now you always see events, there's like early bird discounts, and the early bird discounts are really good because they start building your attendance list early. A lot of event websites show publicly the attendance list, and if other people see, hey, there's nobody attending, then they don't sign up themselves. Whereas if some people sign up from the early bird discount, and they jump on that discount because that discount expires, so they jump on the low price, then it shows your attendance list as growing early, and it makes other people sign up, and it creates this big difference where from no attendance to a lot of attendance early. So that's how you use discounted prices. And what you can also do is, some people will never pay. So people who will never pay, you don't have to reject them outright. What you can do is ask them, hey, instead of paying, you can do some work. So maybe you were thinking to hire somebody for your events, and instead of hiring somebody for $100 for a whole day or for a couple hours, who knows how much it will be, but you can just give someone a free entrance ticket and just have them do some labor, like check people in at the event, help people around, stuff like that. So those are the considerations that you should go through when you're deciding if your event should be free versus paid versus how much should be if it's paid.